But anyway, I don't know, where do you guys want to start talking about this one? Because I don't even... There's a lot that went on.
I have it in front of me. And again, I didn't annotate anything, but I've read it 4 times, so I feel like I should be on the same page.
Yeah, I annotated
Four
stuff.
times? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just love this one.
I feel like it would make sense to read it 4 times because there's like things that I wasn't picking up on. Once you read this book, it just all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened in the first book, and I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, how did I just completely go right over that?
I mean,
she does that.
yeah, for sure. Trying to think. Trying to think where we could start.
Like, I don't know if we should talk in like the order or sequence of things that happen. So first it's like her and Tamlin and like her kind of coming back to the spring court and everything that's kind of happening there, I guess, and then the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then it goes to like her and Reese after that, and then
Yeah, we
I
can
don't know.
start there.
chronologically, it would make sense. Like start at the beginning and then
Yeah.
work through.
make way down.
Mm-hmm.
Megan, I was telling Brie I totally didn't just read like a 10-page summary because I just like was like, what all happened? Couldn't really remember.
Mm-hmm.
And all these details are coming back up, and now I want to reread it.
I know, that's exactly why I did. Because I feel like when I read these sometimes, I like go too fast and I don't really process half of it. And then I just have to reread it.
I definitely read these fast, and then you remember, like, I don't know if it was this one or if it was Wings and Ruin, but like I finished one and picked up the next one in the same night, so like I cannot differentiate what happened between
Which is which, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
kind of
how it
got that
was for me.
too. What'd you say?
That's how it was for me with like Fourth Wing and Iron Film. I'm like, hold on. I gotta figure out
yeah.
what happened.
Yeah.
I feel
Where's the
like
line drawn?
I feel like that one's harder too because it all takes place in the same place, like in the college, and then a little bit outside of it. At least this takes place in multiple spots, but yeah, I don't know. I really like this one. This is probably my like second favorite one of the series, I would say.
The last book was your favorite, right?
Yeah,
Ooh, I can't wait till you get there.
I'm excited. I'm excited now. Now I'm hooked. I
As
really
you should
want
be.
to read Wings of Ruin.
We can, I guess, go over like the first quarter of it and then go from there. I'm trying to see.
Yeah, because the rest of the stuff is kind of just all melded together because just like her and Reese and like their journey and then like the whole main plot of like what they're trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about you, but like when I read, because I know that you had a different thought about it, Brie, but when I like picked this one up and I kind of the first kind of instance where she was like not doing okay and Tamlin kind of just like brushed past it, I was like, oh, this man ain't shit. Like instantly. I was like, nah, this is not the one. And I didn't get spoiled like you guys off TikTok or anything. Like I had seen kind of with like Fourth Wing, I had seen photos and whatever, like artwork, but I didn't know who they were, and then I kind of just like forgot about it. But I had no clue that this was leading up to what it was leading up to. Unlike you guys, but I like as soon as like page 5 and it was like Tamlin just doesn't say anything to her about being sick, I was like, yeah, fuck this guy. I'm out.
Oh yeah, someone with like chronic stomach issues. I went through that where like I've just been throwing up every morning, like, and you know it wasn't caused by like nightmares and everything else, but still.
Just IBS.
Yeah, I was like, if my man wasn't checking on me, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. I had no sympathy at that point. I was like, you know what? This is her book. I feel like he should be a little bit nicer.
And it's like the worst. And I'm like you said, Brie, like definitely a big red flag. Oh, there she goes puking again.
There she goes puking again.
I don't remember if he was also puking and stuff like that. I just know that they were both going through a lot. And I took it just like in the beginning that she's kind of like mad at everybody too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, hey, like, understand that, like, you are not the only one tortured. And they've been going through it a lot longer than you have, like, for 50 years of all this bullshit. So, like, yeah, it's all justified that she feels this way, and, but I feel like also the way that Lucien and Tamlin were feeling was justified. But I also don't like the way that they kind of handled it. Still.
Yeah.
Process it differently, but like support each other.
Yeah.
Because Reese went
exactly.
through that shit too. But he wasn't sitting there like, oh, like, I don't, like, I'm too broken right now, so I can't take care of her. He was like, I'm broken, she's broken, we're gonna get through this together, sort of deal.
I mean, and also the fact that he didn't, like, that we know of, he didn't have anybody, you know, because of the revelation.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have anybody in his life, like, that we know of that was like that. To, like, care for somebody, but, and I mean, Tamlin either, we don't really know. I mean, I have my theories about it, but, I don't know how much I can say. But I mean, my theory is that he already had a mate. Or hasn't had one yet. Like, that's my theory, and, again, like, he probably has no idea how to take care of somebody either, you know? Like, he was by himself for so long, but I don't know if I think it was insinuated that, like, I think Feyre assumed that he had nightmares, but I don't think it was, like, proven that he did. You know, like, I don't remember. I'm kind of skimming through.
Yeah, kind of like what Bree said. He most likely did,
but didn't show it.
Or didn't talk about it, or maybe just was never mentioned.
Yeah.
And also maybe it's
I feel like I remember her saying that, like, that they were both like that in the beginning.
Which is, like, justifiable, because that was crazy what they went through.
Yeah, sometimes I think about, like, early Tamlin. I'm like, I feel like he needs to be kind of, like, redeemed in a way. It's, like, a little bit, not a lot. Not even, like, redeemed. Like, I think we need to know a little bit more.
But, like, I'm not even... So, like, everybody, like, really hates Tamlin. I am upset with him, but I still don't, like, overtly hate him.
I mean,
and I think that's just because he has gone through so much shit as well.
I'm just gonna say, give it time. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right.
Like,
well, as a book 2,
no
I
comment.
don't overtly
yeah, no comment.
Right.
Is probably the best way to say it.
I don't overtly hate him at this point. I think that Feyre and him are not good for each other. Absolutely not. Like, I think that being under the mountain has completely changed them. And just like how she kind of said, she's like, maybe it changed us so much that now we just don't fit anymore.
I don't think they fit to begin with, but that's my...
Of course they don't. She was fated to somebody else this whole entire time. Like, way before they even were together. So, like, can I be mad about it? That's not his mate. That's not the correct person for him.
I don't know if hate is the word that I kind of had for him, but there, like, you'll get to it more. There are other things that happens that gives you a strong dislike of him, but again, there are things that towards the end of Wings and Ruin that you somewhat kind of you somewhat have, like, a little bit of compassion.
Like it's gonna get a little bit crazier. Because now he thinks that this bond is broken between them, and she's trying to infiltrate, and I just think shit's gonna go fucking crazy in this next book. It does. He still is so possessive over her and, like, so controlling over her that, like, it's just gonna explode in the next book. That's why I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I'm like, I can't wait.
Book 3 is my favorite. So
really, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't think so.
3, then 4. Yeah, I think. Oh, I never told you that, Megan.
No.
Well, yeah.
I was like, book 3. I was, like, literally on the edge of my seat, like, crying, laughing, screaming, wanting to throw the book and, like, throw myself into the void.
Yeah.
You guys hate Lucian as well with Tamlin? I feel like Lucian just kind of obeys Tamlin. He kind of just follows him. But I think he's like a completely individual person because I feel like he's a little more empathetic to Feyre. And, and I guess he also understands Tamlin's point of view, especially because he lost the one that he was in love with at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So he understands why Tamlin is like so possessive and like having like, all of them saw Feyre die and then she came back. But he also understands that Feyre needs to be her own person. And he was kind of like trying to tell Tamlin that, but Tamlin was just like shutting it down.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at Lucian. I'm not. I feel bad for him.
No, I'm definitely he's one of my favorite characters. Like in the first half of these books, he's like kind of one of my favorite characters. But yeah, I totally agree. He's like Lucian is friends with Tamlin, like the friend that you don't really want to have, but you do anyway because you feel like obligated or you feel bad. Like you just said, he feels bad because he knows what it's like. I think the problem with Lucian versus Tamlin is Under the Mountain, Lucian tried to help Feyre as much as he could, given under the circumstances with his family there and whatnot, knowing that he could probably killed, at any point. And I think the problem with me is, like, why did Lucian, who's just a friend, go out of his way to try to help her, and then Tamlin did nothing? Yeah. That's the problem I have, because it's like, how can you say you love her and then your best friend is just like helping her left and right and you're not doing shit?
He's the only one, yeah.
Yeah, that's my only gripe, like, with the first book and then, like, the first quarter of this one, is just because it's like, in my mind, he is not, he's not, like, admitting to his faults. Like, he could just be open and be like, I'm sorry about not helping you Under the Mountain. Like, this is how I was feeling. But I feel like the miscommunication is just so, like, they're not good at communicating at all.
Yeah,
so it's like, you're bad, Yeah,
I completely agree with that. Even, like, when Feyre eventually leaves, and she just leaves and doesn't say anything, then she sends a letter. And the letter is, like, 2 sentences.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like you should kind of elaborate and say, listen, like, I'm safe where I am right now. Like, Rhys is taking care of me. He's not harmed me. Like, this is what I was feeling after Under the Mountain. Like, I had changed. I was feeling, having these flashbacks, going through basically PTSD. And what you were doing was not helping me heal. You trapping me like that was not helping me. And I just need time and space to figure it out and kind of heal on my own. But I don't think I can do that with you being there. Like, there should have been some explanation, but not like 2-second thing like, I'm fine, I'm safe, don't look for me.
I don't even think, like, Freya would ever, like, admit that. Well, number one, she literally was still learning to write, so I don't think she could write all that.
Okay, valid point. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Yeah, she still doesn't know how to read and write.
Her skill level wasn't there.
Yeah, skill level is kindergartner at best.
Yeah.
But I don't think, like, she could ever, like, not admit herself to that. I think she knew, like, each point, like, he's not taking care of me, I'm unhappy, I feel trapped, but, like, I'm slightly happy you're here. I don't think she, like, had the mental capacity to, like, list out those things and, like you mentioned, just be good at communicating, because, like, even toward the end of this book, it was still rough, and, like, it's always, like, either with Feyre shutting down or anger. There's no in between. There's no, like, normal healthy conversation. It's
Maybe
just
that's just
reacting.
her personality.
Yeah,
I guess that is more of her personality. She doesn't, like, eventually, even with Rhys, when the big reveal comes out in regards to, like,
right, anger.
Rhys being her mate, she was just like throwing shit at him.
Angry, right?
Yeah, she was just like, take your fucking flower here, fuck it. I just literally picture her just taking his hair and just like shoving it down on her like arm or whatever, and be like, fucking gulp down, get the fuck off me.
That's how I pictured it too. Like, eat this, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, and just like throwing him in the mud. She's like, when now, me right motherfucking now. And then got to the house and just walked away. I was like, you didn't give him time to explain or like anything, and then you're telling like the man that you love, you just left, like, who was injured so bad, trying to protect you, might I add, during all of that, just like on the fucking ground, and you're just gonna walk away and be mad.
at death's door.
That was ridiculous. I was
Oh,
like,
he was
come
fine.
on.
He was fine. He wasn't
like
on
ash
death's
arrows.
door. He was fine.
But it's fine. That's just, she's not like that. She's the type of person who's like, if she's mad, she needs a couple of days to kind of think it through and then be ready to talk.
I mean, I definitely sympathize with that because I'm that way. Like, because I understand where she's coming from because if you think about it, in the first book, she was just lied to for 400 pages. Like, there was not a moment of truth until the end when he's like, I love you. That was probably the only truth that was spoken. And then to go back to the place that, like, she thought she belonged, and then with someone who lied to her all the time and is still not, like communicating, like we said, still not communicating. And then, like, basically, not that going to the Night Court is a lie, but she kind of has this impression that they're horrible people. So again, she's being told one thing, that they're horrible, and then she goes there, and it's a relief that they're good people. But that's still, like, that mind fuck of, wait, I was told that they're horrible people. Like, now I don't know what to think. And so I get when she was upset, because it's almost like her breaking point. And I feel like she's the type of person that she, like you said, needs to hold her anger, like, cool off for a couple days, because if she says something in anger, she won't be able to take it back. Like, and it would just come out worse than it is. Like, unforgivable type of deal. That's how I gathered that.
Yeah, she did say a bunch of shit to Reese that she eventually, like, regretted.
Yeah.
Or they got into an argument at one point, and she said something. So, okay. I guess
Yeah,
it's okay.
but-
But I was mad at her for that part. I was like, come on, just hear the guy out.
You also
hear the guy out.
You have to remember, too, that the first 3 books are from her point of view. And the one thing I've had kind of difficulty... At first, when I was reading these, I had difficulty kind of coming to terms with was, like... we see our significant others as, like, rays of sunshine. Like, they could do no wrong. Like, the best thing since sliced bread. But then you're gonna get a different POV of that person that you've been told was, like, the best thing ever. And then you don't get that. And it's almost like a slap in the face. So, like, I would, like, personally, I had to remember, like, okay, this is also her point of view from this book. So, we're seeing it from her eyes. But everybody else could be seeing this, like, argument about being mates and be, like you said, be like, okay, why don't you just talk? But it's through her eyes. That's what I have a hard time always coming to terms with, but I don't know if that made any sense. I'm tired.
No, you're good. I think so. That you also got to think, she was a human. She's having to understand, like, Fae, mates and connections. And
Yeah.
also, like, she's still 19. She really only had, like, one, kind of fling with that one guy. Didn't have, like, a good example of, like, a healthy relationship.
Yeah, really.
Because, just her dad. And then, like, I don't really think you have time for, like, emotional bandwidth when you just need to survive day to day. So I think that definitely, like, carries into the Fae. And also they're all older, they're all hundreds of years old, they've had that time to, like,
regulate their
grow and
emotions
learn.
and grow. Yeah.
Exactly. And so, like you mentioned, like, Megan, that's a very human thing to do. And at 19, 20, I was probably no better. And now that I'm an old fart, I'm probably like, oh, she could have communicated better.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Going through a lot, and she's a human, and she's young, and it's a lot to take in.
Yeah, because if you think about it, they don't really, like... They have all the time in the world, literally. So if they get into an argument, they can just go in the other room and then come back and hash it out and be done. In the human lives, it's like, you only have so much time to dwell on something until you're dead.
And that's maybe why you take things a little more personally, get a little angrier, and, like, they all, like, especially Reese, he's lived... I can't do math, but he's lived at least 5 times longer than she ever would human world.
Yeah.
He's had the time to, like, work on that kind of stuff.
I think it's 50 times.
Okay, I knew it was 5.
Because he's like, I think it's 500.
Yeah. 5 and however many zeros,
Something like that. Yeah, okay, wait, let's backtrack.
I didn't know, like, in terms of, like, him telling her about being mates, I didn't know I agree with like in terms of like she's been going through a lot lately, and that's just one extra thing on the plate like that she has to freaking just process
for sure
about what the hell happened. But like I also like don't really blame Reese in that, because like when the hell do you tell somebody as they're in love with somebody else, and somebody who doesn't even understand the customs of Fae, of like this Fae world. So like we only learned about mated pairs this book because he was talking about his parents.
I wonder too, like I think that in the back of my head, like she heard that story because he told a story about how his parents didn't really love each other, right? Like in this one, like they were mated pairs, but they were just like meh.
I don't remember. I don't recall. I know that his dad slaughtered like a whole Illyrian camp.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in this book where he was just like, my parents didn't feel anything for each other, and they were mated. Because he was significantly older than his mom, I think. But
his mom was young, yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder if in the back of her mind too, after hearing that, she's like, oh fuck, do I even like this guy? Like, do I just find him attractive and now I'm shackled to him? Type of deal.
So
I can neither confirm nor deny if it was in this book, but I know what I get it.
Well, you do know. You know now. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, if you know now,
it's not the
yeah.
It's not a game changer.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna break the world with that one.
Yeah, I think it was like way later in the book, so like he was talking about it.
I know I think they bring it up again in Wings and Ruin. I don't even know. Like you said, they start to mesh together for like the non-pivotal plot points. To where I wish I annotated the shit out of this book, but you know.
I don't know. So we just kind of backtrack then, I guess. Sorry.
I
got into everything about how Feyre is terrible at communication.
They all are. They're all terrible.
So bad about it. Tamlin doesn't talk to anybody. Fucking Feyre doesn't talk to anybody. Reese is the only one. Reese is the only one that tells anybody.
He over communicates at some point.
Oh yeah.
He just doesn't stop talking.
500 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think going back to like Feyre and Tamlin, I think honestly the first time that I was like reading through that first half of that book, I think I even wrote it like my heart is breaking. Like to watch or just like kind of picture in my head that Feyre is breaking down. Tamlin's not really paying attention to her. She's feeling trapped in this house. And then for him to actually trap her in the house.
I lost it. Oh my god.
I was gonna chuck the book across the room. Like I was so triggered.
Yeah.
I was like, it triggered my own trauma here. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, no. At that point, I was like, all right, he's gone way too far at this point. But
yeah,
obviously had gone further later on.
Oh yeah.
So that really got me mad. In terms of that, what's her name?
Morgan.
Ianthe.
Oh, Ianthe. Yeah.
The priestess.
I actually did not get bad vibes from her initially when I was reading it. I was like, who the fuck is this bitch? That was it. I'm like, all right, some dumb priestess who's just likes to, you know, is more promiscuous or whatever. Maybe. No, I don't know if I got bad vibes from her. I don't think so initially. I know Lucian was skeptical of her.
I felt she was very pushy, but like, you know, she had a job to do. She had to prepare her for a wedding.
This wedding, yeah.
That's like her one job in life.
Yeah, just
she was pushing all her ideals on her.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just felt
had
that
to wear that ugly dress.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, wear that hideous dress. That's my vision for you.
So yeah, then I think I was kind of just heartbroken through all that. Then Reese finally saves her, walks into that, crashes the whole wedding like a fucking G.
Love that part. Oh my god.
No fucks given.
He really doesn't care.
I was like, yo.
That's my man.
And then I love him teaching her how to read and everything that he makes her write every single day about himself.
He's so
little
cute.
Exercises.
Yeah.
I have yellow tabbies for all of that.
He's so cute.
Ysand is the most handsome High Lord.
I mean,
he's the most charming High Lord.
Was he wrong in any of those?
He's
is
the
all I
best
have to
lover
say.
anyone's ever had.
She only wrote the truth.
She really did. She wrote the truth and only the truth.
Fact.
In the inner circle, who's your favorite character?
I don't even know. I like them all so much. There's. Is it just me when I read Amren's name, I keep saying Armin when I'm reading.
Armin Arlet.
Armin. Oh, I did say
All
Armin.
I think about.
I'm still reading quick.
Armin. That is hilarious.
That's
I did not do that.
every
That's
time
so
I read
funny. I love that. I love that for her.
So if I say Armin instead of Amren, that's why. Because in my head, every time I read it, that's what I said.
Oh, good.
Poor Armin.
I don't know. I just love their whole little family that they have, and how they tease each other. And it's like, yeah, the world is sometimes shit, but at the end of the day, like, we have each other, so it doesn't matter. And when it's game time, it's game time. Like, they were not messing around when all those Atar, right?
Aiders. I read it.
Or
I read
Aiders.
Aiders.
I say Adder.
Oh.
Adder. Whatever.
We all
Whatever
say
they're
it differently. Ooh.
Yeah. It's funny to hear other
Ator.
people's pronunciation.
I think
I know, right? A tour. Yeah, I don't know.
When they all show up, and then like they were just like defending the city.
Oh, on the Rainbow
Cassian was
Bridge.
going,
I love that
like,
scene.
Yeah.
Cassian's
that.
like, I'm gonna do my Bankai right quick, like going crazy. And then, yeah, so I really like all of them. I don't think I necessarily have a favorite, though. I do like probably Cassian and Azriel more, but I feel like Cassian had a lot more dialogue compared to Azriel, because Azriel comes off as this like shy, quiet guy.
And don't expect much more.
Yeah,
He's
Very
not
dark
gonna
and
talk again.
mysterious.
Yeah.
you know.
Literally dark and mysterious, yeah.
Yeah. He's an
Very
edgelord.
like withdrawn. He's the definition of edgelord.
He really is. Sophie,
with his whole spy network, and he's gone and doesn't really talk. He's always like just on the peripheral, just watching and waiting type thing.
Always in the
And then
shadows.
there's Rogue.
And then there's Cassian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cassian is just this wild. I picture him as like this wild headbanger. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just like
big boy.
yeah.
I love him so much. Oh.
So he's great. I guess in terms of, I guess Reese and Feyre and everything that he kind of makes her do. I'm so happy that he allows her to just be herself and try to figure this Fae thing on her own, and even help her like try to work on her powers and shield. And what else?
You did call it about the powers, though, when we spoke last time. You're like, I feel like that she's gonna get, she got a little bit of each of the High Lords.
Yeah.
And I didn't say anything.
Yeah. We were
and
very
then
quiet.
and then the whole thing with like, I forgot what they said. I sound like that TikTok. I forgot. Oh shit, I forgot what he said. But it was still something like this. When they were saying like the ones that we've done for before, when they like turned her into a fae, and I was like, oh, there has to be other people that were turned like that, and I was like, where the fuck are they? And then Amren shows up, but then she's like different. I still want to know what she is. There's like she's some spirit from like way before, but then she like drinks blood, and I was like, she a vampire? What is going on?
You love your vampires.
I do love my vampires. That'll make her probably be one of my favorites then. And like supposedly she's super strong too. Like she stayed behind during everything, and she's like, I got this city. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
The fact
So
that
I'm
she
like-
could defend a whole city by herself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's wild. So I want to know, are her powers similar to Feyre's? Because if everybody gave their powers to Feyre to resurrect her, I don't know what happened with Armin. Was it the same thing? I don't know. I just want to know, is that going to be more, like, revealed more about her later on? Is there more information about her that I'm not aware?
There,
Or not so much? They don't really elaborate on it.
there will be some.
Okay.
It's not the last of. You're fucking confusing me now because I was gonna say Armin.
It's not the last of Armin.
It's not the last of Armin Arlet. No colossal titan or anything, but
No.
you will know more. She's she's in the inner circle, and everyone's stories get a little more developed. So that's all I'll say. Your questions, some will be answered, and then I'll ask more questions.
Yeah, I would like to know more about her. I think she's another questionable thing that's happening there.
It's very Sarah J. Maas, just to kind of give you like some breadcrumbs, and you gotta wait to find out more.
So can I say something controversial? Yeah, not controversial.
Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe brave. So I'm afraid to say this though. Fuck. Because you're asking all these questions, and Becca's answering them, but there's stuff that Becca doesn't even know that I know. And it may. Can you guys just read the other damn books for Christ's sake?
Wait,
please?
Is that because of the other?
Yeah,
stuff?
can you please?
Wait, so I don't know. So I know that it's like all within the same universe, but are they all linked in terms of books?
I'm not gonna say anything else. Just read the other damn books, for the love of God.
Oh,
please, I'm tired of being alone.
Please, is like 12 books.
No, not that one. The other one she has. Crescent City. There's only 3.
Okay,
but they're long as fuck.
Yeah,
but you get more info about Amryn.
You get more info about everybody.
Huh?
Oh, Megan.
Okay,
but that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. That I'm not gonna tell you how, why, when, where.
All right.
So the other one's Throne of Glass, the 8-book one. Fuck. So I think that Bree, you would like those more than ACOTAR. Because, yeah, there's... The only thing that I feel like you won't like is the lack of spice. Because there really isn't any, because she wrote this when she was young. But it is... it's written in such a way that is very much like Game of Thrones. And... I don't know, I just have this feeling that you would like it a lot more. But there are people that like Crescent City a lot more, so it's a very mixed bag. I like ACOTAR a lot more, but then when I read Crescent City, I kind of think a little bit like, oh, I really, really like these books. But, like I said, they're connected in a way, and that's all I'm going to say. That's why you need to read them. They're not by themselves.
So when I was texting you about Amryn...
Yeah, I probably lied.
You lied straight to my face.
Yeah, I do that. Often.
I understand.
Yeah, I do that often. Don't ever listen to me when you text me about a book. I'm not going to tell the truth.
And Brie, when we get to that point, I will share my text that I sent, but...
I never tell the truth, dog, when it comes to books. Never.
Oh my god, the betrayal. No, but I understand why.
I'm trying to think... trying to go through the rest of the book too, because like I think the middle of the book is just like so much, because it's just really just her and Reese like falling in love, and it was so nice. It was nice. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good slow burn.
Oh, I bet Becca was dying during this, because I was.
She hates slow burns.
I was dying.
I knew it was gonna happen.
I was like 500 pages, still nothing.
Like it was really cute, like. Everything in Valeris, the House of Wind, all that, and like I knew it was gonna happen. And like you mentioned, Brie and Meg, chapter 55.
55, yep. That's the one.
Like we said, edging.
Just the whole fucking way. Jesus Christ.
I just think that for this book, I was okay with the slow burn, just because it was him giving her time to heal. Like, he wanted more than anything to be with her, but he knew that she needed time to heal or make that decision, because his common theme throughout these books is that like she always has a choice, that it's always her choice. So I like the slow burn just for the fact that he was giving her that choice.
Yeah, I have no issues with the slow burn at all.
Yeah.
I actually think it has like a bigger impact on everything, especially because like the big reveal is just totally at the end. And like I like the little things, like I have stuff that's like he's like holding her hair back when she's vomiting, and
like you said,
he like was holding her hand at some point. I forgot for what. I have it like tabbed here.
I think they were walking through the city and he held
Oh,
her
they were
hand.
gonna go talk to the bone carver. And
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
I
yeah.
pictured frickin' Pride.
I did too.
Little boy, I did too.
The little boy.
Yeah. It's just the way she described him. Just looked
Mhm.
just like him.
That's all I had in my head.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing about Reese Bree that was like another green flag. I liked when like he brought her for the first time to the townhouse. He like mentioned he's like, you will never be trapped here. You will never be locked up.
Mm-hmm.
Just one more tick in the pro column.
You
I
know,
was-
one... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say that another like thing too that with Reese for me was compared to Tamlin, was I was skimming through this just now and I totally forgot that she offered her jewels for the teeth for that spring court person, and they were eating and she was like, I'm done eating, and he's like, no, you're gonna sit back down and eat, we're eating. And like if you think about it, like the parallels, like if she did that because she was mad at Reese, he would like make a joke out of it. Like he wouldn't be so stuffy like, sit down bitch, you're eating your food. Like he would make a joke or just be like, okay, fine, whatever, like do whatever you want.
But I was gonna say one thing I was actually really proud of Feyre for doing. This was a green flag for Feyre.
Oh.
So this is like when they were, I think they were like going out and they're partying. What is it, Rita's?
Rita's, yeah.
Rita's?
Mm-hmm.
Not the ice cream place, but...
No, unfortunately.
But they were like dancing and stuff. She's like, I forgot she was like staring at Reese at one point. Oh, somebody was flirting with him at like the bar or wherever. And she was thinking about him in a romantic way and was thinking about like, even after 50 years of being sexually abused, would he even want to be with a female like that?
Exactly.
And I was like, that was very mature of you, Feyre, because
Yeah.
he has to heal too. You know, what happens if he feels like he can't be in a romantic relationship because that sort of side of him is tainted from, you know, 50 years with Amarantha.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know, Feyre, that was very mature.
Yeah.
I appreciated that.
Yeah.
I think I put a tabby down for that.
Yeah,
One
she had
thing is
good
she's very
growth.
considerate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was also wondering, so I wrote this down on, because I'm at the part at the bone carver. I did not pick up on the part in terms of like, when he was talking about what did you see when you died, and it was kind of just like Reese actually pulling on the bond to try to keep her there, which he mentions later on. So, like, yo, fucking, when that reveal came, I was like, holy fuck. I was like, it all makes goddamn sense now. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, even from, like, the first book when they had, like, when she was saying goodbye to him, and she, like, he literally stumbled.
Oh, I'm so glad you
and then
just said
went out.
that. So
And then
glad
went
you
out,
just caught up on
And
that.
it just, I pictured that so clear in my head that he got back into the house of Wind or whatever, and is sitting there with like Amryn or whoever was there.
I think it was
I was
more
saying like she's my mate, like just like I could picture him just on the floor just like sobbing.
Mm-hmm.
Like fuck man. I was like shit. That just made it so much better. Like that you're picking up on other things that had happened already throughout the
Yup. And
the
like a
book.
new lens.
Yep. I was like, oh my god. I
It's
was like,
funny
holy shit.
because in the Akatar video we did, I'm pretty sure I asked you like something along the lines like, oh, like what do you think of like their relationship now or something like that. And you didn't say anything about him stumbling, and I was like, fuck.
No, I didn't notice that until later on. I was like,
yeah.
I had to think about like everything that had happened.
I thought he just tripped, to be honest.
No, he looked at her and was like, "Fuck, that's it."
Yeah, I thought he was
love
like,
her."
oh damn, I don't know if I like her anymore, and tripped and then fell and left. Like, I did not pick up on that.
I can't remember if I picked up on it at the moment or later on, but like either way, you get it, and it's still like you said, Brie, you're like, oh shit, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way that she did that was genius. Like, I'm still thinking about it. I finished this book on like what, Wednesday, 4 a.m.
4 in the morning.
going through it. Yeah, and like haven't stopped thinking about it since then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
I think I told Becca whenever I need a good cry, I always read chapter 54. Because when he tells her about his feelings, like, I sob every time. Like, every single time. I literally cried like a child when I read it the first time.
I didn't cry. Oh my god, you guys cry a lot.
I
Yeah.
cry all the time.
And I'm really sensitive.
No, that
I
made
cried-
me. Oof.
I cried at the end when I thought that their bond was broken.
Oh
That really
yeah,
fucked me up.
yeah.
That fucked me up. I was like, "Oh, are you fucking kidding me?"
If you didn't
No
cry
way.
during that part, you don't have a soul. Because I was straight going through it, man.
I was like,
Like hyperventilating. I'm like,
I was really
I
going
can't.
through it.
If I don't keep going, it doesn't happen.
If I was annotating this book, blue would have been all over.
Yes. Oh my god, every
the place. All the blue
page.
tabbies.
Yeah.
From page 54 onward.
Yeah. Just cover it all in blue.
I was going through it.
Or chapter 54. I think I wrote down here. So I was at the bone carver part, and I said, I wonder if she saw a little boy when she saw him because it represented the young fae that she had killed.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I said I have to go back to the first book, or maybe it represented her innocence, a part of that which she had lost in the mountains with Amarantha.
Ooh,
But it
that's
was
pretty
sure.
deep.
It's a good, yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
I wrote some kind of therapy. She got it all off her chest to the bone carver.
Right. I'm actually there right now because I'm just like flipping through and I just
Yeah, I put a little
got to that.
tabby there. Trying to flip through my tabs. More funny tabs. What was this funny tab?
Probably all Cassian talking, to be honest. Cassian be funny.
Oh no, I think this was like she had lace or something on the furniture. Oh yeah, she had like some kind of lace, and she wasn't gonna put it on. She said, "You're drooling on the carpet." Reese, I thought that was funny.
They're just so good together. Like,
Oh, and when he says Pharaoh's his salvation,
mm-hmm.
bro, I just banged on the table, but like shit. I was like, let's go.
I do like too in this book that
I should put a tabby.
it was when they're Feyre sparring with, I think, Cassian, right? She's sparring with him first, and they're kind of just like getting that bond, but like that they become like best friends. That's just my favorite part, that there's like brother and sister, and I love them so much.
I love the loyalty that they have, but like what I think Reese points it out in terms of like Cassian and Reese and their relationship compared to Tamlin and Lucian's relationship was that if Feyre ever said she needed to get out of there, Cassian would take her.
Of course.
Yeah.
Same thing with Moore. She was like, Moore, take me somewhere else after, she was mad at Reese, and she did it without
Asking,
And-
not even
and then-
hesitating, yeah.
and didn't even tell Reese where he took her. So like that's kind of the difference in terms of relationship between, I guess leader and then like captain or whatever you want to call it, their second hand.
Yeah.
General.
I did think about this too. Like, I feel like Tamlin and Lucian, like you mentioned, is more like a loyalty, like for duty, and then everyone else with Reese, it's more of like a loyalty through like a family. And I loved, and you guys probably feel this with like your SOs, siblings and stuff. Like sometimes I feel like Ronnie's sister is my ride or die versus his. Like you just get like that certain type of bond, and I really like that you said like more is like, if you need something, we're just gonna completely bypass Resand. I don't have to talk to him. And like I liked all the little moments too, the little one-on-ones she was getting when she was meeting the all of the inner circle, and like she's just so great that they all would do anything for her. So that was also like really really cute that like along with getting her mate, she also got like a whole new
family.
Yeah.
I think too the other part though that we don't think about is like the parallel that you just said, Bree, with Cassian. He wouldn't hesitate, he would go right in. The only thing that I would say about Lucian is that I think we all forget that he doesn't even have a family. Like if Cassian didn't have a family, maybe he would have gone in, but it's almost like like Lucian not helping. It's just like, he's probably thinking like, is my family gonna hate me more? I have nowhere to go to. Like all these thoughts of like not even having a family, whereas Cassian has people that backs him up. That'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go save her with you.
Yeah.
But Lucian has nobody.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I have with it is like, if the tables were turned, Lucian would definitely go in. But it, you know, he's got a fucked up family that hates him. So
Yeah.
because they're all dicks.
And going back to like, I keep bringing up Tamlin. I think the reason why like I'm like, I don't know, like I'm not so upset with him is because I feel like having read the first book and going with Feyre and going throughout all of that with her, I felt like I actually had fallen in love with him. And then to like I take into consideration that like this is somebody she once loved, you know? And he went through shit and she went through shit. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel bad for both. But we'll see. We'll see. I still got more books to read, so I think even then I'll still be upset. It's like, I don't know, it's almost like a normal heartbreak.
I think the good thing that, or the interesting thing that Sarah does is that she gave us, like you said, heartbreak, but she gave us our first love, basically, because that was her first love. So, but you know that only like 20% of the time that first love is gonna stay. It's so rare for your first love to be your only love. So she gave us the all-natural heartbreak that everybody goes through, and that nobody is exempt from. And she just has that way of triggering our trauma.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Like all these books just trigger me.
I was triggered.
Yeah,
I got triggered.
Yeah, like I'm sweating. I'm like, whew, this feels personal.
Yep. I'm trying to swipe through to see. Hey,
I just got to the Weaver, which was the Weaver's cottage, is one of my favorite parts for some reason of this book. Like all I picture is just her fucking climbing in this straw-made like chimney with this weird like Guillermo del Toro figure fucking chasing her. And I just was like, scared. I was like, oh my god. Like, but I love that scene. Like, she's fucking nuts for that. I would never go in there.
And Reese is just sitting outside, just like reading a book.
Yep, picking his nails, taking a nap.
Here's her screaming, doesn't do anything.
He's like, what does that sound?
She's got this. She's got it.
She's fine.
Getting all the story, like, she's so powerful, all this. Yeah, just go sneak in. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And go find the smallest item one person could think of in her treasure trove.
Right. It's like, you got it. You started doing this yesterday, but I have faith in you.
She's like, how will I know? You'll know when you know. That's not an answer.
Yeah. I'm gonna die in there.
I would have been like, no, thank you.
Yeah. You go in there. I'm gonna fucking die.
Is this the part with the lady in the forest? Or?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have one of my tabbies I was cracking up when something like she needed to be called, and he was like, just shoot something down the bond. And she's like literally shout, and he goes, you could try rubbing it on certain body parts. I might get faster.
Yeah.
Like, this guy.
Yeah, he's so funny.
Oh, I love their little notes that they send back and forth. I like picture like a magical like floating like sticky notepad and like a little feather, and then just like right back and forth to each other.
Yep. They're so cute when they do that.
Little text messages.
Yes, it really is.
I love how Feyre too kind of flips on him. Like, so I think this is kind of where you start to see that she's beginning to heal, because like he always makes these comments that to get her angry, and then eventually when he's upset and he's brooding, she'll flirt with him just to get him out of that mindset too. And I was like, okay, now that she's kind of playing along with it, I feel like that's why I was like, all right, she's getting better. She's getting there.
I just got to the part with Ianthe, whatever her fucking name is. Like where Feyre learns of the memory. And it makes me hate her even more. Okay, moving on.
Oh yeah. I was like, all right, fuck this slut.
Fucking hate that bitch. But yeah, I'm just like, my book is like opening, like, you know how when you go to like when you put your book down, it opens to a random page because that's the one you open the most.
Yeah, chapter 55. You got one of those creases?
No, mine is actually chapter 38.
Chapter
which
30? Hold on, where am I?
I think
Oh,
is when they leave the summer court after they get the book. And I don't know why that opens up to be the most sought out like chapter, but that makes me think like I just absolutely love the idea that my boy Cassian knocks down one building and he's not allowed back ever again to the summer court. Like he's permanently banned from Best Buy. Like he's no longer allowed.
And Megan and I had this discussion. I'm like, I just love that there's no other elaboration.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
He broke that building. He's not welcome here.
Yeah.
That's it.
We don't talk about that. That was like their 9/11. Like they they cannot talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Cassian is Al
He should
Qaeda.
not be named.
Yeah.
He's public enemy number one.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like they'll just all like mention it very slyly, but nothing after that. Just nothing else. Like just no Cassian.
Like it just makes me so sad for him because it was probably like an accident, and now he's not allowed back, like at all. And that just oh man. And they all just make fun of him for it. It's my favorite.
And you know what? You mentioned that Megan and I, I'm looking at it like a different lens. They also mentioned like Illyrians when they're growing up. You know, they have to train so much because they have so much power. And Cassian and Az were like the strongest of like the past couple generations. It probably was an accident. Like he probably didn't know how to like find whatever power he was going through because it was a while ago, right? So he was younger.
Yeah.
And these will never forgive him.
Yeah, they literally was such an accident. Like
no, he'd never do anything like that on purpose too.
Yeah,
so, like, it had to have been an accident.
Yeah, not forgiven ever again. They got the blood rubies. You're gonna die.
I can just imagine like his face is like on the crown like meeting room in the palace, and it just like his face and just like a big red circle with like a line through it, like no Cassian.
Yeah, a wanted poster. Big old Cassian wanted poster. Or like in The Office where Creed goes to the Chinese buffet and he doesn't pay. And they have his Polaroid of his old man face on the board.
What I'm thinking about, like, do not let this guy in.
Do not feed this man. Do not let this man into the summer court. It really did make me feel bad for Tarquin.
Mm-hmm.
Like that man was just so sweet. Like
He was sweet.
like he really just I don't know, just wanted a companion or a buddy or something. And then he just got dicked over, literally.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they can, you know, heal that in the future because yeah, they stole the book, but it was for good reason. Let him explain later.
Yeah, but Cassian tore down a whole building, Brie. They will not forget this.
They have never forgotten. So.
Yeah, they will not forget the book now.
You know, now thinking back on the Summer Court, obviously we didn't read it then. The Summer Court reminds me now of the way they explained it in Hurricane Wars with Neneverine? Was that the
Neneverine.
You know, very, very tropical, like beautiful. You know, they're mentioning like it's gilded. They have like the surplus of all of the jewels and stuff. Everything's, you know, has like gold and blue hues. It's on the water. So I really loved that section. Like I was like, it was just all of her like imagery is so beautiful. But thinking back on it now, that's what I'm kind of like. That's how I was picturing it when I was reading it.
Yeah, me too. And like the way I pictured Summer Court first was like if Greece, like Santorini, if you picture Santorini with like tropical trees like all around all over the place, that's kind of how I pictured it. But like more pristine, like castle like buildings. But yeah, super colorful. That's kind of how I pictured it in Hurricane Wars too. Just bright and happy and just
beautiful.
Tropical, yeah, beautiful.
And the fact that he's also like a waterbender.
Yeah.
I'm on his side already.
Yeah.
You got me. You can control water.
Until that man blood bends. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
He doesn't go that far. He's a nice man.
He's a good guy.
He's a good boy. He would never.
I'm looking through my tabbies. I saw one. Reese sends music down to her that it's confirmed that it's him, and he was sending her visions of Valeris.
Or what about Starfall? That was one of my
the
favorite
whole
scenes.
the little ball thing that they had. That was so sweet. I wanted them to
Mhm.
kiss so bad then. I was like, come on.
When he's like, do that again, and she's like, what? And he's like, smile. I was like, ah! Oh my
That's when I was
god!
banging the table.
Yeah.
Like you said, Brie.
I was throwing my head back and forth, like kicking my feet. I was like, he did it! He said it!
Every time you say that, Megan, like, so we're all short. I literally imagine you just like sitting in your chair, just like not reaching the floor, and your feet are like swinging.
moving.
Literally, because I keep them up to the side on the chair. So when I'm reading, I'm just like waving my feet around. I got the little body, big feet, but you know, flapping them in the air when I'm happy. Chapter.
I really like. So I'm still in like chapter 30 here, just flipping through my tabs. I really appreciated finally because so far through this whole entire book, she just left Tamlin up and left. Didn't talk about her feelings whatsoever. Has not said anything to anybody. And then she's like, you know, with Cassie like starts questioning her a little bit, and then it starts to come out, and he's like, "You've left for good." I think this is after she wrote, like sent the letter, and I was like, I literally wrote, "Yo, she's done."
She's done.
She's done. Right? I have all this stuff highlighted, and I'm like, she's got a point. Like at this point, I was like, you know what? It's valid. Like you leaving that guy, like you needed to get out of that relationship. I was like, I'm so happy for Feyre at that point. I was like, the way she's like saying that she was no longer useful, and that she needed to be locked in place for his peace of mind, not for hers, and that he stopped trying, right? I think I got upset about it because I think I wasn't sure of how genuine Tamlin's relationship with her was. Like, did he actually truly love her, or was this all for the curse?
Yeah, that he
Because
thought
he saw,
did.
yeah, that he thought that he really did love her. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not really 100% sure on that. Because now she's no longer useful. Now that the curse is lifted.
Yeah, I mean, no
That
comment.
really bothered me.
That's
No.
why I should have.
Yeah, no comment on that one.
Oh my god.
I can't say anything.
I can't.
I just can't.
Maybe it's true. And then Rhys like covers her in darkness and comforts her. So sweet. Such a sweet man. Such a sweet man.
Such a sweet man. That's a good man, Savannah.
That's
He's
my
a
man.
good man.
That's my man. I'm going through. I think I'm at 42. Oh, okay.
Is this when the
So
queens come in?
it's a little after that, yeah.
Okay.
This is oh yeah, when Rhys is like, we'll show them what Valaris looks like, and they're like, but they go to the Court of Nightmares instead. Oh my lord!
My goodness.
Oh,
Love
fuck
that part.
me, man.
My
I
god!
was like, Jesus Christ.
Like, I was all for it, you know, like where she's on his lap, and I was in it to win it. And then
I was geeking.
and then he said those words. He was like, "Don't worry, it's just what did he say?" He was like,
It's just your body reacting.
It's just your body reacting." And I was like, "Oh no, no," because like that's how he felt for 50 years. Like it's just his body reacting. Like he didn't want to sleep with Amarantha all the time. That was just his body reacting, which he probably said it to himself multiple times. And that kills me inside.
Also, fuck Morgan's dad.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking can't
I
say
can't
that.
I
remember
don't know
his
why,
name
why
right
don't they
now,
just
but-
kill him? I'm so confused. I'm like, why are these people still alive?
It's because he runs down there, does whatever he does. I don't know. Whatever the fuck he does down there. I'm right on it. What is his name? I know it too.
It's escaping me right now.
Begins with a K, right? Or no? Kier.
Kier, something?
Yeah,
Yes.
Kier. Yep.
Going back to the whole Tarquin thing. I have it put in here because I tapped it, and it was when somebody made like almost like a threat to Feyre at the very end. Something about like, oh, how like they had stolen her from like the spring court or whatever, like what would happen if we told so and so.
Yeah.
And he said, he said, "So you will forgive me, Tarquin, if I tell your princess that if she sends word to Tamlin or any of your people try to bring her to him, their lives will be forfeit." And I was like, "Oh!" I put him in a coffin, Reese.
Put him in a coffin.
And they're like, is that a threat or something like that? He goes, "It's a promise." I was like, "Promise!" I put exclamation point, period.
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 Yeah, that's it. Oh, Reese. I love him so much. He's so, like, unhinged.
But he protects his own.
It's, and like Megan was mentioning, we only have like Feyre's point of view, but I love, like, he's talked about, like, he's like the big bad, you know, everyone's so afraid of him, you know, and then we get like these cinnamon roll moments.
I was just gonna say cinnamon roll.
And
Yes.
then there's moments like that, Brie, when you're like, oh shit, this is why he has been the most feared for hundreds of years. That kind of thing. But then, like we were just talking about, he's flirting and they're sending like little dirty messages to each other.
Mhm.
Stuff like that. Like I love like both like, you know, Feyre's learning about him. She was so scared, you know. The only memory she had of Rhysand was like doing what he had to, like to get out of the night court. I'm sorry, under the mountain. And she goes to the night court and she's like, oh shit, he's a great guy. And there's moments like these where he's like, I could kill the most, you know, powerful people of your court, and it would be easy.
Yeah,
It's
he's,
just because you said some mean things. Like they
Yeah.
might not even deserve death, really, but he's like, I will kill you.
he's like, I could do it. It doesn't mean I
Very
will,
easily.
but I could.
He's
Really
like, I'm
could.
just reminding you of who I
Yeah,
am.
I'm just letting you know that I really could. But I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna flirt with my wife.
What's the TikTok where it's like, he's a nice guy or something like that? But what about the people he murdered?
What murder?
That's me. I was
Exactly.
like, what? I don't care.
That's literally Reese, yeah.
I look right over. I'm like, nope, I don't see no murder. No,
Mm-mm.
not here.
When Feyre started getting all of her powers, I was so excited. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, look at her being the freaking Avatar. Fucking fire, earth, wind, water. Like, she can heal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Speaking of the water bending, when I was waiting for like you to get to that part, I thought you'd mention it when she's on the bridge, Brie, because I know that you love
The
you know,
iconic.
Avatar, the water, iconic.
Yep.
I think I put the book down and did like a victory lap. I was so
Yeah.
happy, like fist pumping in the air,
With
jumping.
her, wait, with her wolves?
Yeah, the water
yes,
wolves.
exactly what the water
Yeah,
wolves.
I'm pretty sure I put next to the, when it happens, I think I put Water Tribe in caps.
Yeah.
Like,
We're
right
talking water tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Water Tribe.
That I think was my favorite show of all of her powers, and like you mentioned, I
Mhm.
think it's just because I stan Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also just like she's like, I don't know if I can do it, I don't know if I can do it, and just, you know, beasts out. Loved seeing like each little kernel of her power, but that was my favorite. I don't know if you guys have a different favorite.
I'm trying to think. Honestly, it's been a minute since like seeing the powers. I just like that she can glow. I think that's fucking cool. Cause fuck. Did that happen? In
Yes.
the book? Okay.
He said something about her.
Okay.
He's like, I'm the only one that like makes my whatever like glow or something.
Yes,
like that.
okay. You guys got quiet. I was like, damn it!
I was looking for the part.
I was like, I don't know.
Because I have the print on my wall and I'm looking at it. And I'm like, oh, that definitely did happen. And she's glowing. And I'm like, shit!
When I was mentioning her water power, you guys were quiet, but you're just letting me like finish my thought. I was like, oh my gosh, does that happen in the next book? But I was like, no, it happens during like the siege of Valeris.
Yeah.
So I was just hoping I didn't get it wrong.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think too, like, my general thought too with these books, which I don't think it's ever really touched on, is her powers, I think, are very much like Avatar in the way that, like, she channels what she... What's the word? Like, she's easier to channel things she's comfortable and knows. Like, she spent time in the summer court. She was friends with Tarquin. So she feels comfortable channeling water. Or she loves her home, so her any night court powers that she has, she's comfortable channeling and can channel at will. That type of thing. Like, versus, like, fire or winter. Like, she doesn't really know anything.
Have, like, a connection.
Yeah,
to
a
that.
connection
Yeah.
or a like or dislike or whatever from. I mean, she dislikes the Autumn Court, but no, like, really connection to them. So it's probably harder for her to wield those powers versus the one she knows and loves, pretty much.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, I think Aang was afraid to wield fire because of hurting Katara. So it's like maybe Farrah had, like, you know, she didn't want to wield fire because she hated the Autumn Court type deal. Like, the psyche blocks what she can do.
Yeah. And, like, she didn't really like shape-shifting either until she had to do it.
It probably,
Like,
like,
when she
reminds her
was
of Tamlin.
Lucian.
Tamlin,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
exactly.
Like, she only did it when she had to, like, when she was... Like, didn't she, like, shapeshift? Like, she was on some changeling shit. Like, she... Like, she's like, until I was him. When she was talking to, like, unlock stuff in the summer court.
Unlocking stuff?
I don't know if she was him. Yeah, remember she had to, like, talk to, like, certain codes to, like, break through to get that other half of the book?
Oh.
And she said, I am Tarquin, I am summer, I am warmth, I am sea and sky, and planted field. It says, I became every smile he had given. Between the crystalline blue of his eyes and the brown of his skin, I felt my own skin shift, felt my bones stretch and change until I was, and italicized, him. So
Wow,
can she
that
turn
one-
into
Wow,
other people?
I never, in my 4 times of reading this book, picked that up.
That one, I thought that she meant she was like channeling his power.
Yeah.
because she each has like a kernel
Mhm.
of all of them. And also, by the way, I love the way I love like that whole scene, but like it never dawned on me
No.
that she like turned into him. I thought she was just like channeling her power.
Or
of
just,
him.
like, yeah, over-exaggerating her, the way she
But,
feels
like,
about it, yeah.
The way
I'm not
his
sure.
eyes turns color, like I missed
The
that.
skin shifting? Yeah, no, I did not catch that.
No, I didn't even put a tab on it. I underlined it and wrote over, and then I wrote she's on some changing shit. I said, what is going on?
Yeah, I did
Which,
not pick
yeah.
up on that.
Yeah, I thought it was more
Damn.
like his power, but yeah, maybe she like combined his power, like was using Tamlin's power because she like had to.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, she had to be that person in order to like break through this thing. So I don't know. So I think she can turn into people too if she needs to.
Damn.
That's
Well,
wild.
shit.
I'm gonna read this
Wow.
again. Because I feel like I'm missing so
Well,
many
here.
things.
Here,
It's
you
like
can
you
read.
convinced me.
It's
Yep.
chapter 35. Chapter 35. That's what that one.
I think I was right to it. Let's see. 37.
But it says was
35.
him, italicized.
What page is it?
Whoop, hold on. I gotta go to again. Page 349. At the very bottom, that last paragraph.
This is like a literal headcanon. Like you just blew my mind.
Oh wait, do you have the heart? Oh no, I see it right here.
No, I got all the soft covers.
My fingers froze to it as power leeching my. Oh. Interesting. Did not allow any part of me that wasn't Tarquin to shine through. Interesting. Huh. Look at you, Brie.
Yeah. You sold me on that.
Yeah, I
mention
didn't-
That. Especially with like
I just
his-
made Pharaoh that much cooler for you guys.
Yeah, really.
Oh,
I
you did.
I
Like, she's-
never.
She's just like she just has every power in the fucking book. I was like, Jesus Christ. So I'm wondering, is it still because she still does get half of or she gets some of each High Lord,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
I don't know as of right now. Even though she thinks that it was. I was like, maybe she thinks that it was from Tamlin, this shape-shifting with the wings. But Reese is half Valerian, so like why not wouldn't she get that part of him as well? Or only his high lord powers?
The wings, you mean?
Yeah. Is that just part of her shape-shifting? Or is that actually part of Reese? Because I think that's what I was confused about.
Oh, you got to the wings, you mean?
Yeah. when
Okay.
she got
I was
the
like,
wings.
That's why I was
Um,
quiet. I was like, I don't.
yeah.
I don't know if
I know, I was like, fuck, when does that
So
happen?
Lucian basically comes in and is like, come with me, Feyre.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she's like, fuck you, I'm not going. And she gets like all her like darkness, night court powers like start coming out. But then
Mhm.
she gets wings and like starts to look like basically
Yeah.
Valerian.
I think that's more a Larian trait. I don't think that's a shape-shifting trait. I think that's
Okay.
more the Illyrian, whatever kernel of power she got from him, that's coming out. So
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
She said in the book, she said, "Oh, I must have got that shape shifting from
Tamlin.
Tamlin," and I'm
No.
did you
Nope.
though? That's what you might think.
Yeah.
But then back
But
to your
you
point,
also
Brie, like,
get, yeah.
go ahead. Sorry.
I was like, because you are got some of Reese's powers, and he's half Illyrian, so why it would make sense that you would be able to channel that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then like you mentioned, she feels whichever High Lord she feels most comfortable with, that's usually what she channels then. So like you mentioned, I think that it was Reese. I think it was his Illyrian because like at that point her and Tamlin are on really bad terms.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, she's more comfortable with Reese. You know, she's obviously seeing the wings when she's training with them and them flying around and stuff. So I thought that was all Reese, no Tamlin.
And he's comfortable with his Illyrian culture too. Like he doesn't,
Yes.
being half, he doesn't shy from it. So he has them out all the time, which she probably gets a sort of feeling from that too.
Oh my gosh. And the jokes about the wingspan.
Oh my
I just
God.
passed that right now, my tab, where she
I
was
knew-
teasing
I
him.
knew it was at that point. because he's like, who has the biggest wings?
And it's Azrael, right?
Yes, it is. As
Whew.
is
Yeah, as
August.
And
Yeah,
we
yep,
haven't
I have
seen it yet. And I need to know. I need to know. How big is it?
Oh, yeah, I have that whole highlighted actually. It says, let's see. Amber and Moore told me that the span of an Illyrian male's wings say a lot about the size of other parts. And he goes, did they now?
Which is fucking hilarious because out of the three of them, Reese is the smallest. Which I think is the funniest part about all of this. Because it goes from Reese, Cassian to Azrael, evidently.
Yep.
That's what
They
makes
also
it funny.
say Azrael's wings are the biggest.
Yep.
And then it says, when we return home, let's get out the measuring stick, shall we? I was cracking up.
And I love how they like argue amongst themselves like who has the biggest, even though it's a well-known.
Yeah.
Because it's like I guess a pride thing, but still, I loved those little inside jokes.
And
too.
but they're like talking about their like dicks. They're obviously like
Yeah.
who has the biggest dick, but they're just
It's
like
literally a pissing contest.
yeah, they're just
Yeah.
they're just like, you know what, my dick's bigger than yours, haha. Like they don't even care. I love it. Brotherly
like, Az
love.
is he's so quiet and reserved. Like you know, he's not gonna be like, no, mine is. You know, even
Because
though
he
it's
knows his is. That's why he's like he knows.
Right.
Everybody knows.
He's like, I don't have to argue with you. Everyone knows.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. I just skipped to chapter 43, and I forgot that they like had an argument. And this is why communication is key, because like Feyre goes to compare Reese to Tamlin, and he straight up is like, stop doing that, like stop comparing me to him. Like, in which like Tamlin would just not even like have this conversation, like to warrant Feyre to even say anything. But just shows like how comfortable she is.
And one more like healthy thing I guess he's learned throughout all of his time. It's like that's not healthy, that's not okay, and like also puts him in like a weird spot too. So I totally did forget about that until you brought it up. But
Yeah, but like they have like healthy fights. They don't like, you know, hate each other forever. Like just little spats.
yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what this chapter is that I have a bunch of notes on.
Is it, what is it, chapter 48? Which one is the inn, the close
Don't get me started.
proximity?
48. 48. I
Ugh.
know that.
I know that. I marked
I
it.
know that one.
Another time when I was hitting the table, banging the table.
Yeah.
I didn't even put a tab on it. The whole chapter just says hearts at the
Yeah.
beginning. I just was like the whole thing. Honestly, it might be bad, but I like this scene more than I like 55.
I don't have my book just because I'm lazy. This is the end scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bed.
And I
Yeah.
think just because
Yo,
of how
what-
like I don't know, just the way that they were like the sexual tension between them was like
Mhm.
so
Cut it
much.
with a knife.
Yeah.
And I don't just the fact that he was referencing like the other thing when he was like on the throne with her.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I've been dying to do this
Yeah.
since you were on the throne. And then, like, sucks on his fingers. I blushed so hard. I was like, oh, Reese, you bad boy.
You bad boy.
I was like, oh my god. But yeah, that's why it was like my favorite though.
Megan knows this about me. For all my other romance books, I live for the one bed trope. I knew it
Yeah.
was coming. I knew about the inn.
I love
I was
it.
like, oh, you don't say that. It's very packed. I'm like, you don't say that. There's not much room
Yep.
for lodging. Uh-oh, what's
Yep.
gonna happen?
Where the lady was literally like, no, we only have one bed. I was like, yes, let's go. Yes.
And I was pleasantly surprised in what happened on that one bed.
Mm-hmm. I
Wow,
mean,
that-
until she had to do the whole, like, you know, this is just a distraction, you whore.
Ah, this bitch.
I know. I was like,
know.
Shut up and
why?
accept it.
That self-deprecation.
Nah, I would have gave in.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask
I
a
would've.
question.
Folded.
Mm-hmm.
You would have folded.
Fault. Like a lawn chair. Go on. What's your question?
And Megan, stop me if this is. It's a very minor detail, but like again, I don't want to spoil anything. Did they talk about what bringing a meal means after that scene?
No, that's like
No.
that's like at chapter 54 when he finally shows up at the door and she's like, come in, I'll make you soup. And he's like, you're making me food?
Yeah, really?
I was like, huh? Why is that weird?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
And I was
when
like,
that's when he tells us.
Okay. Also, I was like, that was just one more thing. Like their customs are different, but I was like, oh my gosh, they're meant to be together.
Which is funny because in the inn, I just got to it, and I just thought of it now, where they're like, she was talking, and she's like, oh my god, where the fuck did it go? Where they're talking, and she's like, oh, I'm hungry, and he stops smiling. He's like, I'll go get you food, and I was like, why is he so serious about that? Like, it's just food. But I just like now, like after knowing what I know, after 54, it's like food is a tough subject for this man. Like being offered food and offering food is just like that's a gamble on his part. He's probably like, oh, should I put an engagement ring in there too and bring it back up in the stew? Is this the
Yeah.
time?
Like you mentioned, like fare is like it's just soup.
I know. It's just fucking soup.
It's just soup that she didn't even make. She just went downstairs and grabbed it.
Yep. Like literally old canned soup in a closet.
I think of like a little anime, like, you know, when their eyes just like have hearts in them, they're looking at it.
Mhm.
Like, I picture Reese going in for the soup.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna get soup.
And,
And
like,
then-
that's the way to my heart too. So I totally agree.
And then she's like, oh, I cut up crusty bread or something. I'm like, how long was that bread there for? Like, you gave him old soup. And old bread. Old hard bread. And you're
So,
like, here, eat.
Something else was hard.
Yeah, really? He doesn't give a fuck about the soup. Or that crusty bread.
I think right after chapter 48, 49, I was like stressed. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's when he gets attacked and he's like on the ground. And she's trying to find him. But then I wrote here when she's like, you know how like they try to distract her? They took like two things separate and then she was like, but they didn't count for my scent being on him.
Mhm.
Right? Second scent that clung there entwined with his. I was like, atta girl, go get him.
Yep.
Get him back.
I
And
love
then she
her in
went
that.
apeshit.
Yes.
Yeah, he was like
Jumping
I'm
from
not, like-
branch to branch. I was like, oh my god, this is some Hunger Games shit.
Yeah, and I love like that was. They also like everyone underestimates her, and I think we're talking about that in the first book. Like, you know, now she's turned high fae, but she spent all her life tracking shit. And I was
Yeah.
like, let's go, here she goes. When they split up, like you said, Brie, I was like, this is gonna be a piece of cake for her. She knows, like,
Oh yeah.
little trick like that
Getting
is
those
not.
ash arrows too, and like getting that bow ready. I was like, oh, take
Right?
him out.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that scene, like, I think there's definitely a blue tab if I was annotating there. I
Yeah.
was so stressed.
Yep.
And then that's when she kind of talks to
The cereal.
Reese about what. No, she talks to Reese about what she painted first
Oh. Yeah, can we
on the drawers.
hold on. Can we talk about you know what I'm gonna say? So can we just imagine like so she's a painter, right? And just imagine she is in someone's home that is like a family heirloom, and she starts fucking painting this house, and just like imagine if she wasn't a good artist, like just random like cockeyed eyes all over the place, over the stairs, and like little stick figures over the fucking fireplace.
Wait, didn't Moore do those though?
No, I think she added to it, didn't she?
She did. She added little stick figures.
I think she did.
Most of it was Feyre.
Yeah.
There's a whole theory, and I am totally for it, that she's a terrible painter.
That she's a horrible artist.
And you know, I kind of believe it because like she barely had time to paint. You know, I even remember when she was like learning to write and stuff, there was like a couple sentences where like she was even struggling to like hold the pencil the way that she was shown.
Yeah.
And I was like, how does she hold her paintbrush then? You know, she only had a couple of chances to paint like on the table and on their dresser and stuff. So I'm like, other than just sheer natural talent, how can she paint like murals inside someone's house?
She holds it like a monkey. Like she holds the paintbrush just like in her fist.
I truly believe that.
Or like when Squidward has the jellyfish net in his hand. That's how she holds it. She firmly grasps it.
I truly believe that she's a bad painter and that no one will tell her.
They can't tell her.
Like they're way too much.
Yeah. They're like, oh, yeah, this is really good. Thanks for painting my house that it's been in my family for 1,000 years. That my mother lived in. Oh. Thank you.
And give me canned soup and crusty bread. That's fine.
Yeah, how old is this soup again? Was it next to the paint cans?
That's not lead paint. How old is that paint?
Yeah.
These are all great questions.
Really, though. Like, and I got to it. Boredom hit me throughout the day. She started painting everything. Like, fucking imagine you just come into this house looking for your, like, scared girlfriend-ish thing, and then you find just paint everywhere, and you're like, okay, first off, why did you do that?
You're okay with this.
Yeah, you're like, I'm remembering I love you. I'm remembering I love you. This is why I'm here. I'm not here to yell at you because you painted my family heirloom home. But anyway, we can all agree that she's probably not a good painter. So, moving on.
Were you guys like completely dumbfounded by the mate part with the cereal?
Oh yeah, I did not see that coming from a mile away.
I didn't either.
Me neither.
Nope.
What do you think of the cereal?
I don't know. Why do they know everything?
Fuck.
I
I can't say anything.
Oh, so you know. Alright.
I know. I don't think Becca knows.
Oh, okay, because I was just like, I just think that's their beast power thing. But
I feel like they're like a seer or something.
So, fuck. So, when I say that, like, some things, when I say I know, it's more... I can't, sorry. You're just gonna have to read it. I can't. I can't say I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's just...
Like, there's gotta be a way for them to know all of this. Either they have to be, like, be able to, like, foresee the future. You know what I mean? Or... They're like an internet of spies somewhere that just collects all this information.
But let's say between every single book that she's written, there are things that are rumors or theories, but they're very sound theories. Like she says it without saying it. That's the only way I can say that.
My dumbass just accepted it. I was
Yeah.
like, they know everything. All right, I'm not gonna question it.
Yeah. Let's have some tea.
Yeah.
Let's sit down. Yeah.
No, I literally was like, what the fuck when I read this? I was like, no way.
I also just love how easily she captures him. Again.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
This guy's not that hard to capture, clearly.
I
No.
love it sounded like she was doing like a mundane task when she was like gathering everything and like
Yeah.
waiting for him. She's like, okay, now I have to do this, and now I guess I have to wait. Like it was like no challenge.
Yeah, I feel like part of me feels like too that they wanted to get caught because if they could see the future, they know they're gonna get caught by Feyre. So they're just like, I'm just gonna get caught so I can talk to her.
That's
Kinda
fair
thing.
too. Yeah. And honestly, like, they love, like you're mentioning, Brie, like, they just live for, like, that network of information. So it
Yeah.
must have been like, okay, like, I know I'm not in any danger with this girl. Just might as well go and chat with her.
The true gossip girl of Akatar
Yeah.
is the surreal. Having all the tea.
Brie, he has all the cheese me.
Mm.
I think I said before, I pictured like a female. I don't know why. But I guess it's a male. But actually, they don't put a gender on it. They're a they.
No. Yeah,
I don't think so.
Surreal
They say
doesn't
it
have one.
every time.
Mm-hmm.
I just see a Dementor every time
Yep.
we talk about it.
Yeah, me too. And then there's like, if you look up the actual artwork, it's a little bit creepier, but yeah, I pictured a Dementor. A nice Dementor.
A helpful Dementor.
I just got to it 5 days later and I painted every room in the cottage. Who the fuck does that? You don't even own this house. Like,
Or go take a walk.
yeah, do something else. Like, sit in front of the fire, take a damn nap. Why are you painting somebody's house? That's so rude.
And at this point, like,
Yeah, didn't even ask permission.
my
Yeah.
theory was sound that she was a bad painter.
Yeah.
I literally imagine like a child with finger paints.
Yo. Oh,
I'm
just
terrible. I'm sorry.
got to 54. I'm not even gonna go through 54. It's gonna make me cry. But yeah,
I don't think I even marked anything in 54 until when he said, "There you are," like referencing to the first book.
Yep.
Because remember, I messaged you guys before I even like read this chapter, and I was like, "Did he know ever since that like spring festival thing?" But I thought in my head that that's when it clicked.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's when he was like, "This is my mate." The first time he met her.
Mm-hmm.
But no, fucking 3 years prior to this bitch even like crossing the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? Mind blown. Mind blown. That's all I can say. I think about this chapter every day.
He's always been waiting for her, that's why. And he was telling the truth.
He was lying. She was his salvation. Oh my god.
I always skim past the smut here because it's a whole chapter of just banging. One of my favorite like comedy parts is when they get back to the camp and Cassian's like, maybe I'll take her for a ride. Oh my god, I fucking spit out my drink.
Wait, what?
When they get back to the camp and they meet up with everybody after the mating bond clicks.
Uh-huh.
And Cassian's like, maybe or Feyre doesn't look too tired, maybe she could give me a ride.
Oh. Yeah.
I was like, this man!
Dan is just poking the bear.
And he's just like gladly getting his fucking face beaten. Like he's just like smiling, getting punched, he doesn't even care.
He had to let it all out for him. He was doing him a favor. Otherwise he would like burn down half the village or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So fun. Like that's why I love Cassian. He's just like, he will do anything for everybody. Such a nice man. I guess.
Yo, fuck these queens.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We could skip to that part.
I want to talk about these queens because yes, fuck
Mm-hmm.
them.
They were just being like total bitches the whole entire time. Not helping out. Didn't give a shit about their people, the humans.
All throughout like all of human history, and even in the first book, everyone knows that the humans could get decimated if the Fae wanted to. That's why everyone's so afraid. They have this like one opportunity and they just take that, like they don't take what I'm trying to say. They're just being so petty.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you guys are so dumb. Like, I'm getting upset. I can't even verbalize what I'm trying to say.
Well, it's also just the fact too, like you have to think it's another just like human comparison that she writes about. They know they're human. They know they're gonna die. They know that they are lesser, not as beautiful. So it's like it's that human emotion of you know, having the sin of envy. Like the Fae can have that, but they've had so long to channel how they can feel about something. But these humans just automatically see what they don't have and what they want, and they just are envious and it can't stop type of deal.
Yeah, that's true. It's a very human thing. Like,
Yeah.
if we're all going down, like, why would I help you?
Exactly. It's a very human response. How pretty much how for the rest of the book how all the humans act. Like when in the first book, Feyre is like, you know, I'm human. Like us humans are afraid of Fae. Like she's very on the human side, but then once she goes over to the Fae side, she's seeing how humans really act. That the Fae aren't doing, the good Fae aren't doing anything to harm the humans. It's just the humans that have that fear of the unknown, and that passes through generation to generation, and that goes to the queens eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, fucking
Nesta gained some respect from me, but she's still so bitchy, man.
it's my girl.
No, I agree.
I don't take shit.
All throughout this, I was like, Nesta's a bitch.
Yeah, I did feel that a little bit when I first read this.
She's just tough. She's the tough.
She's
older
just
sister.
yeah.
That's how I think it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's just a tough cookie. She's just very stoic and doesn't take no for an answer and doesn't like to be walked on. And that's just who she is. But Feyre's the same way, just a little bit nicer if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, more, she's not passive, but she doesn't let that happen, but she kills people with kindness. Which I feel like Nessa would just kill someone. Not with kindness. Yeah.
When you guys, there's just one thing I wanted to mention with like when Reese showed the queens Valeris, and you know he's like, oh, I won't take you there, but I'll show you it.
Mm-hmm.
The little orb that they used. I don't know if you guys in D&D, there's this spell called Astral Window, where like kind of like it's like a mini projector and lets you kind of see whatever you're thinking about. And that scene, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like Astral Window in D&D. So I was like, that was really cool that like he was able to do that, and then all the D&D references we pull between the two. So if you guys have a chance, look into it.
Well, I have an opposite of that. When I saw the orb, did you ever watch the episode of SpongeBob with Manta Ray? With the orb of confusion. That's the only thing I pictured. Is that little orb? Ma.
Oh my goodness. I can't.
No, I think I picture like a big giant orb, but like you know the orb in Lord of the Rings, the like Sauron
Yes.
has, and like you can like see through it if you like touch it, and like Pippin like grabs it, or was it Mary? Mary grabbed it, I think. Yeah.
I take your word
and like
for it.
Gandalf.
I haven't
Gandalf
watched
had to take it away from him because he could like see everything through it. That's kind of what I pictured.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see the queens going that route, like teaming up with Hybern. Just like I didn't know that, or I didn't think that Tamlin would. That's another one that threw me off really bad. Like threw me for a loop. I did not expect that.
You know that TikTok audio? Fake ass bitch.
Yeah.
I think that was what I literally said.
Yep. And it just made me so sad that Lucian was there too. Like that he was involved, because I was like, fuck, I want to root for him. But how can I root for you if like you're gonna fuck up left and right, dog? Come on.
Yeah, he's just getting dragged through the mud.
Yeah.
He's going through it with Tamlin.
And you know what? I'm gonna say it. And I'm gonna get heat for it. That man needs to learn how to read a fucking room.
Oh my god,
there could have been a better time.
There could have been.
Could have been.
Elena's the most sheepish, like delicate little flower. You know, she goes through the worst pain in her life.
She has no idea where she is.
She has no idea what's happening. Az is bleeding out on the floor. Everyone got betrayed like 9 times over, and then she's my mate.
Like she crawls out like a drowned rat, and then she just looks at this man, and he's like, "Oh, that's my mate." And she's like, "Huh? I didn't even hear you. I've what are my ears? Like what did you say?"
Like read the room. Everyone is like having the worst day of their life.
Yeah, really. Like I want to be there for you, but you need to be better.
If Reese cannot say anything for all that time, like Lucian, you could wait until everyone's gone, dude.
That could have been an internal thought. That could have been an email. Yeah. Like you didn't need to vocalize that.
That could have been a brain feeling.
Yeah, brain feeling. Yeah, that could have been his brain feeling for the day. Like that was an intrusive thought that he just let run. Like he didn't need to say that. Could have kept that. And he probably would have done better from here on out if he just didn't say that. That's all I'm going to say. And I feel like you'll agree with that, Becca. Like, if he just didn't say anything.
He did not have to say anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
He could have just not.
That definitely could have been inside job.
Yeah.
But that might have defeated the purpose for, like, their plan. Because now Pharaoh's like, well, Lucian's not going to do anything because we have his girl.
I feel like she would have taken her anyway. You mean like the hostage situation? Oh, you mean
because she now Reese has the sisters, and that's his mate. So now he can't do anything because that's his mate.
It's true. The hostage situation, I said, as if that's even true.
Whenever I picture them being like dumped out of the cauldron, I think of like, for some reason, I think of that one episode in not Full Metal Alchemist, Avatar: The Last Airbender. You know when it's like, Appa ate Momo, and like Sokka goes into his mouth and like slowly slides out.
Yeah,
That's how I picture them like coming out of the cauldron, like just like.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love
drowning.
that. Just all wet. Just Sokka's
wet,
like
just
limp.
coming out.
Yeah.
Sokka's laying like a limp noodle.
That's at least that's how I picture Elaine coming out.
Yeah.
Because that girl, bless her heart. Yeah. Nessa came out running, but Elaine, she was a slow roll out, man. She didn't know what was going on. She didn't know what year it was.
No. Nesta with finger point though earned a lot more respect back for me.
And how they said she was like kicking and clawing like a rabid cat or whatever. Whatever she said. I was like, damn.
Like Elaine just took it, but like Nesta's like, I don't remember exactly what she said, and if you guys have it open, but she pointed. And did she say something along the lines of like, "You'll pay for this, or I'll kill you," or something?
No,
like,
I think she just pointed because she had the thing on her mouth.
Oh, fair enough. I feel like if she could have talked, that's what she would have said. But yeah, that point earned so much respect points.
Here, men dragged my sisters, gagged and bound. Let's see.
What chapter is it?
50.
Family.
65.
Hey, yeah, no, I'm just
Sold out.
65. I got something about a wildcat. Yeah, she fought like a wildcat.
Yeah, wildcat. That's what it was. Was bellowing at the guards. At the king. Yeah, I don't think she.
It's a question to me. So you probably, because you read more of the books than I have.
Oh, she had a gag. She had a gag on. Sorry, keep going.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
I still don't understand the whole thing of like what the king is trying to do with Jurian. Like Jurian was a human, and he was against the Fae. Why would he be with the Fae now?
That man was locked with his eyeball and a necklace, or in a ring for like 49 years. I don't know. He's probably got some scrambled eggs going on up there.
Wasn't it 500?
Oh, something like that.
Because
5,500. He had an eyeball in the ring. I don't know.
Was the war for the thing.
Oh, true. He
But,
aged
like,
well.
I don't know. I'm just like, why would you be with them? It doesn't make sense. I thought you hated Faye, but whatever.
All I know is that when I read it, all I did was picture Pedro Pascal.
As Jurian?
Yeah. Yep. I was like, I can't be attracted to this, right? I shouldn't be attracted to this, right? I feel like Ronnie just answered that. I just heard him.
Yeah,
I would imagine so.
He's like, who else would you picture?
But then after that, I guess the last thing would just have to be that whole thing with the bond and splitting the bond. I didn't know what the fuck was happening, actually. As I was reading that, because she was like, Tamlin, and I was like, what the fuck? And then Reese was like, how did you break it? And I'm like, is he talking about the force field that she just broke, like the ward? I was like, what the hell is happening? And then it clicked to me that she was actually pretending to be like Reese, this, I guess, glamour or whatever that Reese had, this control that Reese had over her was broken. And I was like, oh, now it's fucking making sense. And then she was like, break the bond or whatever. And that's when I was sobbing, because I was like, no.
Yeah.
Like, please do not break this bond. And then that's what I actually, so up until like, I think, because then you get to Reese's chapter, so 68, chapter 68, and 69 is the last chapter. 68 is in like Reese comes back, because that's from Reese's point of view. And I think it's Amryn who's talking to him. And it's like, yeah, I like broke the bond. And she's like, that's not possible. And I was like, huh? Like, I was like, what do you mean? And then it's like, broke the bargain, but they would have checked her other side. They would have realized whatever. And then it's like, now you're high lady of the night court. I was like, high lady? Let's fucking go! And I'm like sobbing, but I'm also like happy at this point. So I'm like, all right, I could stop crying now. I take all my tears back. I feel better. But I was like, whew, did that shit have me?
They got us in the
Like
first
a
half.
whirlwind of
They
emotion.
really did.
That was rough.
That was rough, and that definitely, like, every sentence would have gotten a blue tab for me. I was bugging. I like you said, I didn't know she was pretending at first. I was like, oh shit, was Reese actually bad? Like you said, did he glamour her? Like, did you know? I'm sure Tamlin felt like she was stolen. Like, was she actually stolen? All this shit. Oh, I'm stressed about it now.
And like the last paragraph of 69, when it's in Feyre's point of view and she goes back to the spring court, all I picture is like her hugging him and like hugging Tamlin, like, oh, it's gonna be okay. And then like she's doing like a break the fourth wall, like fucking Deadpool style, and she's just like looking at the camera and just like smiling, like she knows she's gonna ruin this man for life. Like
that's why I'm like, now I need to get to the second book.
And she says, I gave Lucian a sweet, sleepy smile, so our game began.
Yeah.
Like, god damn it!
Hey, fuck it up. Feyre, fuck it up.
She is gonna fuck it up. Okay, since we've just spent an hour and 45 minutes on this, do we...
It was very good. We had to talk about everything. I've been dying for the past, like, 5 days.
I've been dying. Alright, then we can do our official review then. Bree, you can go first.
Alright. Let's see. I don't know how I want to review this. I think overall, I would give this book out of 10. I would give it a 9 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
Ooh. I think it
right.
was very good. It was slow in the beginning, and I think that's just normal. And because it was just such a slow burn, right? You had to go through what she had changed before with her and Tamla, and then her relationship with Sand. But then when it finally got there, and by the time you got to the end of this book, you were just going through it. And I honestly lived for that last part of the book. Like, now it has completely changed my perspective on this whole series, and even the first book. Now everything just fucking makes sense for the most part. So I would give it a 9 out of 10. In terms of spiciness, we only got like 1 chapter though, maybe 2. I did like chapter 48. I'd give it like 2.5, but it was a good 2.5 because it's slow burn and then you finally get to it. And it was good. So that's what I would say about that. But overall, definitely recommend. Keep pushing through if you're on, like, the first one. It's worth it.
I'll do mine then quick. I think I would rate this one I would say 9 out of 10. It just, like, I think I read this book in 2 days, to be honest with you. And I think when I was done, I went to work because I work next to the Barnes & Noble in Easton, and I just straight up on my lunch break ran to Barnes & Noble and got the new one. Or, like, the next one. Because I was so hooked. But I like the start to finish, the themes of, like, you know, healing and acceptance and finding your family. Really struck a chord with me, so I really liked how she wrote those. And also how she wrote Feyre, just not giving a shit. Like, being independent woman, not bowing down, but also not being a total asshole like some characters we know. Yeah, got me in the last quarter with my feelings, and I wanted to throw up and die. And I'm better now, but at that moment, I wanted to die. The worst death imaginable. And then in terms of spiciness, I would say 3 out of 5. I would say 3 out of 5, just because the end scene was really good. And I would give it 3 out of 5 just because of the build-up towards it as well. Like, the build-up to the spicy scenes was definitely worth it with the tension. Instead of just, like a wham-bam, thank you, man, getting it done. Like, there was a lot of nice tension to build up, which I appreciated. Yeah, love this book, and it comes very close to my favorite one out of all of her books. So, yeah.
Cool. All right, so Court of Mist and Fury for me, I think 9s across the board. I'm gonna give it a 9 as well. I loved the growth of Feyre, and also I think I even texted Megan this. I felt like the book kind of read once she was out almost as like a video game. Like I loved, the side quests of them trying to get everything, and Feyre, working with Rhysand and like that budding romance. Like you guys mentioned, the slow burn, like even though I personally don't like it, I still appreciate it. Like all the details, their little jokes, like just like them bonding together was really great. And then, of course, the last 100 pages shit goes down and, had me crying, laughing, screaming, like running around. So all the emotions with this book and loved every second of it. And same with Megan. If I didn't read it in 2 days, it was probably 3. And I now, thinking about it, I know that I had to pick up Wings and Ruin immediately because the way it left off, I was like, I need answers. So I loved the way it left off. And for Chili Peppers, this one is going to get a 2 out of 5 for me. I might as well put it on a t-shirt. Like,
Yeah, really. It's
quantity over quality with me.
Yeah.
Like, just me personally, the slow burn isn't for me, but like what we got in the last couple of chapters was great. And like you mentioned, like it's kind of like, it was so much more worth it that, they were kind of working through all their stuff all throughout the book. But I kind of wanted more, but that's just me.
Quantity over quality. That's you.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna order a t-shirt then.
When I said that, I was like, I could definitely get t-shirts made.
You really could. I'm gonna order them.
How do you like your smut? Question mark. Quantity over quality.
And that's when you put on the shirt, every book is a 2 out of 5 Chili Peppers except Hunting Adeline, I would say. Or I don't know, I feel like you got some smutty ones.
I do. And maybe one of these days, once we're done with ACOTAR, we'll see. We'll talk about it.
I don't know if Bree's
in the meantime,
ready
I'll get those t-shirts going.
Oh, yeah. I don't care.
I don't know, Bree. I read
Am I a reader
crazy
now?
ass book the other day, so I don't know.
Am I considered not to be a virgin anymore?
Well,
or am I still
after your first?
Am I a book reader now, though? Am I a book girly?
You're book girly,
Yes.
but I think after Silver
Nope.
Flames, you'll no longer be the smut virgin.
No longer be the innocent.
Yeah.
Really.
Because Silver Flames, whew! Oh boy.
Here for it. I'm here for it.
I love the smut in that book. Oh my god.
Which is funny because going through all of it, Megan kept saying to me, like, I can't wait until you get to Silver Flames. Can't wait till you get to Silver Flames because Megan knows what I like.
Yep.
No.
Chef's kiss. Okay, so that was our review of A Court of Mist and Fury. But yeah, until next time.
Woo-woo.
Bye.
When's that coming up?
Yeah. Peace.